can I
You
share
hit that,
something?
Kiki. You hit that, girl.
Yeah, can I
Sorry.
share something that I read this morning? It was like completely random. I just started this new book. And for some reason, it just like resonated with a lot that's going on. Um, if a factory is torn down, but the rationality which produced it is left standing, then that rationality will simply produce another factory. If a revolution destroys a government, but the systematic patterns of thought that produce the government are left intact, then those patterns will repeat themselves.
Mm.
Throw away,
What'd you say?
throw away the government.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mentioned before, like
Mhm.
really that resonates with me too. When you think about what I said about the police force and why they were put into place, like this is history that repeats itself. And I think with the riots and everything that's going on with these current events, like you think about Martin Luther King when he was assassinated by the government. Do your research.
Mhm.
Like a week later, you know, the government passes a law, you know, kind of stitching together some of the loose pieces on like voting rights and housing rights. So I think this is just another part of history. We want change. We're demanding it by, you know, protesting and you know, looters are going to, arsonists are going to, you know, light fire to buildings. But I think people want change in the institutions, and you're completely right. That book's right. You know, this is what America was built on, and that's history keeps repeating itself because it's the same thing over and over and over again. But we want change.
Mhm. And I'm. No, you go.
I just was saying it's kind of a scary thought too, because it's like if history does repeat itself and we don't come out of this, you know, any different 20 years from now, what does it look like? It's scary. You're right. Things are going to just rebuild themselves. Yeah, all of this happens, but it's going to rebuild again. But if we have a say in how we can change things right now, right now more than ever, I've never heard it so clear than right now. I've never had more people pay attention. And digging into the details, I think, is the next step. But really, just it could be a kind of a scary thought, because it's like you don't want that to happen. You don't want it to just repeat itself. And we have the attention of so many people that are at the top to make a difference. And I just hope that, you know, this time is a reflection time for everyone. 2020, I mean, yes, it has been hell from the jump, but I will say this is probably one of the biggest blessings in disguise, because starting with the coronavirus, you know, making people come home, work remotely from home. Well, maybe I'll pay attention to my family a little bit more. How much do I press and put my time into work? Maybe I should back off of that a little bit. Or maybe other people's lives matter more than my own. And maybe I should start educating myself and teaching myself things that I've never learned. So it's like a blessing that, you know, this is all happening, and it sucks that it had to get to this point, but this is bigger. Like we can get to a point where if we learn from this, we can come out on top of it. But it's going to take time, consistency, listening, and learning, I think is the biggest part of this. So.
And I think above all, while we do this, just be conscious.
Where are we going, Jazz? Where are we going?
I was just to the laundromat. Anyways, but I was gonna say that like obviously like so happy that part of the book resonated with you, and that things like that will start to resonate with more people, and to on top of that resonating with you, to understand and to realize that is something that Black people have known and dealt with for a very, very long time. So like, and I'm sure you understand that, but like this like realization for some people right now might really be brand new for them. But to understand that we are in such pain because it's not brand new to us.
Thank you, Jazz.
Yeah, thank you. I was also talking to Kiki this morning about maybe putting something together.
Y'all just be having chats without me. That's crazy.
It literally just happened this morning.
I called her after my little heated discussion with people who denied my request to put out a statement. And I kind of wanted to get her perspective on it. That's actually when I texted you too this morning. But I would love to figure out a way to get the softball community involved all together in creating a safe space for people to maybe talk about their narratives that they've dealt with, the things that they have gone through and encountered, different situations. And kind of figure out just like what we can do together. Like, Kiki and AJ and Jazz said, this is not going to be something that happens tomorrow. It's not going to be something that happens the next day. It's something that we have to consciously be aware of and be active about. So I think starting the conversation that people might not feel like they have access to, or not even access to, but to learn from people who are older, are in the same softball community, because that girl that wrote Kiki, I'm sure is not the only one who feels that way. So I think creating a forum or a discussion to where people can come in and learn and share.
We should have, that's a really good idea. We should have like a huge Zoom basically, that, and like, obviously we'd probably be the ones leading it, us, like AJ, Kelsey, whoever's on it. But like in open Zoom for people to just come in, ask questions with like no fear, and be able to ask these questions in front of other people, and people that they look up to as well. I think that's super important. If we could get that going, if we can make that a thing.
Yeah, I'll start. So I'll look up some stuff tonight. What do you think, Chez?
You guys connected with Tosh?
Yes.
I haven't.
Tosh who?
Natasha Watley.
Natasha Watley.
Oh, sorry. I got it.
Yeah, the shorty.
I think I know her.